Hello there and welcome to another edition of Sport On, and this time round we're privileged to have Dr. Doreen Odhiambo. She is the CEO of the Kenya Academy of Sports. Of course, that specific organization is organizing a very major event this week in the capital, Nairobi, and that is the National Sports Career Fair from the 6th of August to the 8th of August 2025. Daktari, thank you so much for joining us on Sport On. I think the most important question I need to ask you is the fact that why have National Sports Career Fair? Because if I'm not wrong, I think this is the first time that Kenya, if not the continent, is holding a sports career fair.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, we are hosting the National Career Fair, at least to make sure that to sensitize people on the importance of sports. Not just for being athlete, but at least for professionalism. We have people, we lack sports doctors,
right?
We lack lawyers and all that. So that's why we want to, at least, if we have professionals in different sectors, if they can specialize specifically on sports in their line of duty, at least it will help our country. Because whenever we have, for example, lawyers, let's talk of lawyers.
Right.
So, we have athletes who need to be protected. We lack sports lawyers. Like, for example, the professional ones, the agents, when they have issues, we don't have lawyers who can protect them. We have to get people from out of this country. So the professional people, lawyers, we want them to at least to come and specialize in sports to help us in protecting our athletes, the image rights, so many things, the doping cases that we have and all that. The engineers also, so many times we have the grounds being said that they are not up to different standards, FIFA standards or what. So if we have people who are trained specifically on sports engineering, infrastructure and all that, at least they can make sure that our infrastructures are up to standard.
So give us an idea of what to expect during the career fair on those 3 days.
Okay, first we have the expo, and you also have the symposium. In the expo, we have different people in the sports industry, whether entrepreneurs, institutions, and other Ministry of Education institutions exhibiting what they do. So those, parents, everybody, all the stakeholders can pass through the exhibition booths and see what is there. Then on the symposium side, we have the career pathways in sports being looked at on day one. That's where we'll have the athletes, and we also have the CBE, curriculum-based education, being discussed on that day. Then on the second day, we have the innovation and management, where we have the innovation in sports being discussed, how we can improve sports through innovation. Then you also have the management side of sports. Then when you go to the third day, now we have the entrepreneurships. Yeah, different kind of business, how sports can be practiced commercially and others. So for example, we've never treated sports as a business. So that is the area where even federations can be taken through, how instead of relying so much on the government, they can look of ways of getting sponsorship, how to get sponsorship, how they can also market themselves and be recognized out there, and also issues of governance also there. Yeah.
So the fair's theme is exploring diverse career opportunities. You've touched on some of them, but what are the other less explored careers you'd think that perhaps KAS wants to possibly spotlight during this event?
Yeah, they also, there's psychology also. You see, like, you can find a team is good, but if they don't have somebody who can know the psychology, you can find a good player, but now maybe just a small matter in the field, then the person loses up if all that. So at least if they have somebody motivating them, understanding them, and knowing how to motivate them to play well, and that one can help them to win. Yeah, you find a good team going to major games, but at a certain point something psychological effect makes them not win the sport. So we need all those people. There's also the nutrition. Different sports disciplines need different nutrition. So if we have people who can do that, and also we also want to encourage some of our athletes also. Sporting career is for a short time. Yeah.
So post being competitive, yeah.
Yes. So at least they should not just rely on sports alone. They should also have education with it, so that if they leave if they leave sports, professional sports, they can have something to go back to. So that is what we are saying. We have many athletes sincerely who don't have certification and all that, even coaches. Yeah, some of them, they can coach, but they don't have certificates. So, and there are a lot of many of our coaches who have that. So like now we have to rely on prior learning to gauge them somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, experience.
You touched on something about universities, and help me understand, like in terms of those collaborations, universities is a key stakeholder. Also, how are you involving federations as well? Because most of these sports in the country are governed by the different federations. How are you coordinating in this career fair?
Okay, we are involving the universities and we are involving the federations. The federations, like you understand, our mandate is also to capacity build sports technical personnel. And with our partnership with the Ministry of Education, we need to train both the PE teachers in schools and the federations officials. When they are certified with us, at least they can work with the schools. Because as Kenya Academy of Sports, we mainly rely on the under-20s, at least to identify and nurture their talents. Once we've nurtured their talent up to a certain level, now we give it to federations to place them in the national team to represent the country. So the coaches also, we train them at least to together, we collaborate with the federations at least for them to get certification.
How important is it to start at that lower level? You've touched on primary schools, and of course, for most of us who have played sports at one particular point in time, when you get that level of competitiveness, it's usually in high school. So how important is it to start it earlier?
It is important to start identifying the athletes earlier in different sports disciplines so that they can be trained. There are some trainings that if you identify somebody at a later stage might not be able to, to catch up. And for example, if you also want to place them in professional colleges or professional clubs outside there, there's a different age that they want. Once somebody has passed a certain age, they say that they do not meet their standards. Yes.
One of the objectives I've seen about this career fair that you'd want to achieve is the fact that you want to have the participants having practical job readiness skills relevant to the sports industry. What does this mean?
In this symposium, there'll be exchanges, people, knowledge transfer and all that. So people who have, the participants who have these skills at least will be able to understand what they're being told, and to be able to, at least when they go back to where they're coming from, they can also be able to share with with different federations, different institutions that they're coming from. Yeah.
If you think about yourself, because I know you played sport at one particular point in time, how important would have such a career fair been for you then?
No, first I'll start with in school.
Yes.
I lost a lot of time. In school, I started playing hockey. Then by the time I was going to university, and before I went to the university, I was playing club hockey and all that. But by the time I was going to university, my parents told me that now you go and concentrate with schoolwork, that you're not going to pay your fees if you're going to play hockey. We want you to concentrate on schoolwork before you can, once you finish your degree, you can come back to sports. And you see that is lost years, the early 18, 19, 20, the 4 years.
That's when you become very competitive as well.
Yeah, so I'm losing that. So you see, like this forum, when parents have also been invited and all that, they'll be able to learn and support. You go to other countries, you find that parents are the ones who are supporting their children.
Because they're the first point of contact.
Yes,
right?
yeah, supporting their children in different sports, during the development in sports. While here, parents are not more, okay, it's kind of changing, but back then it wasn't parents were not supportive at all. First of all, they'll ask you, what are you going to get out of it? You ask for money even for transport, going for that, they'll not, But once parents have been, once they know the importance, because you never know, there's some children who are not gifted in academics. If they're gifted in sports, at least that one is going to help them. I mean, earn a living, like we say, talanta, hela.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Technology is obviously something we cannot ignore as well. It's something that's going to be part of the conversation as well, and in what way?
Yeah, we have presenters who are to present on technology. The technology is actually helping a lot, especially now. Let us look at when identifying talents. Sometimes you're not able to go to different parts of the country, but if we have somebody from Turkana or Wajir there, who who's a good in different certain sports, and that person just takes a video of what when training or in a competitive match, and that one is sent, is shared out there, at least will be people, the person can be able to be identified. Right now, like for example, if you want somebody, a good person, to be tested even out internationally, and there's no funds of taking that person outside, technology will help. Technology can also help in checking the performance of somebody and all that. So these are some of the things that we need to include in our talent development.
Right. Yes. I've seen in the program, like on Thursday, for example, it's almost close to what we've just spoken about. On Thursday, we have health, fitness, career in sports, and I'm seeing sports scientists, which is good, of course. That means that's a conversation that will be there. Therapists as well, you touched on that. There are also nutritionists as well who are going to be there.
Yeah, there are also nutritionists. You see, like for example, there are so many parts that we need to cover, but the time is very short. So some of them will have them in a panel.
Right.
Yeah, so questions can be asked.
So it's just 3 days, but you feel like maybe it could have been more?
Yeah, it could have been more. And you see also, even somebody being given more time to share what they can be able to share. Yes. So the time is short, but we hope that going forward, this is like we mentioned earlier, this is a first one. So next time we can even, not only national, we can have a regional one, or even a continental one before we go global.
You touched on this earlier, the legal element, and I think it's very important, especially when it comes to players and their contracts. Is that something that's going to be part of the conversation as well extensively? Because I know sports lawyers have also been invited in this career fair. Yeah, we need to, that one will be there. There are so many issues that we have. Like when you find a good player and this the person has gotten a scholarship outside there, you find that this young player was already tied. Underage, we are not supposed to be having contract. Right. Parents, you find parents have signed, and somebody has just been given paid for school fees, then signing, or even balls or uniform only. Then the person signs away the child, and that's now tying the child. And now an opportunity comes, and this one, now the person is left out. Yeah, so those are some of the kids things that we need to be told. And there's also the safeguarding of these children, also to know parents also to know their rights. You know, somebody can be abused. It's not about only sexual or what, there's also financial, physical, and all that. All these also, the parents and everybody needs to be aware. In terms of the long-term strategy of this National Sports Career Fair, how do you think, what role do you think it plays in just growing the ecosystem in general in the country, in terms of making sports a flourishing industry? Because it doesn't feel like we've reached there yet. How can this expedite that?
You see, like now, this is now our first time, and we're bringing in so many people, even the private sector and all that, the industry, other institutions of higher learning, the government sectors and all that. So with this, they'll be able to know, learn something about sports. Most people in the government, they don't understand what sports development involves. Like for example, bringing an athlete to elite level takes a lot. While that one is not understood. There's a lot that has to be, that has to be invested. You see, like, for example, you can't have somebody who's at home is sleeping hungry, then you expect this person to go and perform well. Yes? And the person, like, for example, going to represent a country outside there, the family is hungry. There are so many things, rent have not been paid. So there's a lot that has to be invested in. You have to make sure that the person gets the right coaching. Coaching has to be there. The coach also has to be motivated. The athlete also has to be invested in, have quality training and all that. And also the welfare side also has to be taken care of. Yeah, for us to reach that level. We've just been lucky that some of these sports we are dominating, but if we invest well in athletes, different sports will be, dominating. Yeah.
Looking at the program once again, there's something that stuck out for me as well is personal branding. How important is this as a conversation?
Yeah, personal branding is very important. You see, like, you have athletes who do not know their worth. Yes. And
they're so used to just competing, they don't realize that they're brands.
Yeah, they're not realizing their brands. So they don't get the worth of what they are worth, getting equivalent to their worth. So we need, these athletes need a lot, apart from just training on sports development, there's also the life skills and also how to carry themselves out there and also to how to brand themselves, to know their value. Yeah, so that at least when they get they can argue well to get sponsorship, endorsement worth to their brand. Yes.
What would be your end goal? What would you feel like I have achieved this with this career fair?
First of all, for them to for our mandate to be well known across the country. In this fair also we want the people to know what Kenya Academy of Sports mandate is. And if we are, if we are funded well for us to make sure that we do what we are supposed to do. Yes. Like, for example, in other countries, in talent development, once we've identified those talents, you see, like, we have to train them. Yeah. So you see, like, when you train them train them during the holidays and they go back to school, they lack momentum. So if we can have them full-time, train them full-time, both academic-wise and also sports, and we continue just maintaining a team. Like, for example, we had the under-17 during Talanta Hela. We had the girls team that went and represented us in the World Cup. Most of them came from our programs. So they missed a lot of what is called schoolwork during training, during the training. So if we can be a fully fledged academy, both having a hybrid system of academic and sports, at least that one will take us far. That we have a hostel that hosts more than 500 athletes. So if we can have all those, at least even 5 disciplines, under 17, under 20, have them fully trained both academically and sports, at least we'll be having full-time training, no breaks and all that. We can have a team for the Junior Olympics, Youth Olympics, Commonwealth Games and all that.
Well, the National Sports Career Fair will be happening at the KICC from the 6th of this month until the 8th, of course, at that iconic venue, just to reflect on how sports can be used as a means of having a career per se.